say it again, we are not salesperson. We are consultants. We are dealing with the millions. So understand what he wants.
We've done the homework for you, so you don't have to come here and spend 2 weeks being bombarded by every single agent, taking all that noise away, we're taking all that shit away, all that garbage away, and just saying, here you go.
It's about the right project.
Yeah.
But if they're happy with you, they're gonna end up buying more.
So welcome everybody to another episode of the J2 Hub podcast. Again, today I'm joined by my co-host B, who's going to be going through some top topics with me and some bits of news on the Dubai real estate market. But firstly, I wanted to start with an interesting fact. B, did you know that the Palm Jumeirah, man-made island, yeah? Did you know that you can see it all the way from space?
I've heard that.
You heard that?
I've heard that, yeah.
Where did you hear that?
Well, man, I've been here for 13 years.
I'll leave it out. That was supposed to be my interesting joke. Anyway, yeah, well, that's an interesting fact. I know it's quite a nice, pleasant sight to see if your plane is flying over that way. It looks phenomenal at night when you fly over and see it. But yeah, what an amazing man-made island. Now, I know a few people have said to me in the past, they've compared the Palm Jumeirah to the islands in the Maldives, and they said, hey, James, you know, in the Maldives at the moment, the water pressure is rising, so slowly the land's starting to flood. So there'll be certain resorts that will be underwater very, very soon. I say very soon, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Now people are saying, oh, what if that happens in the Palm Jumeirah? What's going to happen here? Because I know there was some speculation about maybe water levels rising and that would affect the land. But when I spoke to a developer about it, the guys that were building World Islands, I asked them the same question, and their response was, well, James, if it's sinking, we'll just pump some more sand in.
No word, no comment.
Yeah, no comment, right? I mean, like, you think, okay, sea levels are rising. Fuck the sea levels, we'll pump more sand in. We have a solution for everything.
Look, I've heard that when they were building Palm, they built it once, then they demolish everything, and they built it again.
What, Palm Jumeirah?
Yes, because the water was not circulating correctly.
Ah, okay.
And it was stuck.
Yes.
So this is how they care about everything when they build something. So I'm sure that they predict everything that, okay, if the water level is rising, what will happen?
Sure.
So everything was predicted.
So what about this? I've heard this little myth as well. I don't know if this is a myth or a fact, but people say you don't want to own a villa on the inside of the front because the water kind of becomes a bit stagnant there and you get a nasty smell and things can be a little bit difficult. How true is that?
I've heard it too. And look, it's not a myth. It can be a fact as well. Like, we see that prices are different when we're talking about different fronts.
Yeah.
Like the one at the edge is maybe a bit less expensive compared to the one in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've heard that too as well, that you can feel it. But look, at the end of the day, it's Palm.
Yeah.
So it
doesn't matter, does it? Really,
doesn't matter.
And for anyone wondering what fronds are, when you look at the palm, you see those, you see the fronds coming off, and what we're talking about is the tails like this, and the outside being the most expensive, right? Because it gives you the best view, and the inside then becoming a little bit cheap. I say cheaper, it's hardly cheaper, but becomes cheaper, and that little piece inside is where we're talking about there being stagnant water.
So the other side we're talking about 40 million.
Yeah.
The cheaper one we're talking about 32, 33 million.
Yeah. So well, hardly cheap, but yeah, for anybody who's stuck with a few million less, there's an option for them.
Yeah.
But B, the Palm, let's have a quick word about the Palm. Everybody knows the Palm. Anybody who comes to Dubai, they know about the Palm. Investors, when you speak to an investor, you're like, oh, well, I'm trying to get into real estate. I want to do my first investment. And you ask them what areas they're thinking of. They go, well, I wouldn't mind living on the Palm. Now, I've had this from a few people. I've had this from people that have so-called businesses in the UK where they actually claim that they're making a lot of money, but when they've come out here and the rents are like 1 million, 1.3 million a year for, a decent apartment in the Palm somewhere, suddenly their tune changes. People think that the Palm is attainable for a newcomer and a new investor. Now, I always say to them, I say, look, it's not attainable for someone who's new. You know, I think the last of the cheap stuff there has been done and dusted.
True. Now, if you want to start investing in Palm with a studio flat in a decent, not brand new, but newer building, you're starting from 1.5 million dirham for a studio flat.
Wow. And that's what, 500 square feet?
Less, around 420,
Wow.
440.
That's like a hotel room, right?
Exactly. So yeah, that's the minimum investment if you want to own anything. But Palm is always attractive to the people. Like the first phase when they were selling Palm garden homes from Nakhil, it was sold for, guess how much?
Go on, shock me.
1.7 million.
What, the land?
The garden homes
The
from
actual
Nakhil.
homes? And they're the ones you see when you drive in, right? On the side.
All the villas on the front,
Yeah.
they were built by Nakhil itself.
Yeah,
So the garden homes were built by Nakhil, and they were selling for 1.7 million. The first sale from the developer itself.
And that was what, 15 years ago?
Almost 15 years.
Wow.
I don't remember the exact date, but I know the figures.
And what are they selling for now?
Cheapest one, if you get a distress deal, which you have to renovate the whole thing, you cannot even live inside. Yeah, we're talking about maybe 30,
Jesus
31 million.
Christ. Wow. It's mad, right? Like, I bet at that time, 15 years ago, people were like, well, you know, it's a little bit expensive. It's probably never going to stay like this. It'll probably drop down in price. And a lot of people probably missed out. But imagine those people that had the hindsight to think, you know what? This is a good concept. I'm going to buy one. Or I'm going to buy a few.
Yeah, but no one was thinking, man. No one was thinking like this, that Dubai will be the place it's now.
Yeah.
Look, and the people are saying the same thing for Palm Jebel Ali now, that, okay, you're going to own a 5-bedroom villa for 18.5 million in Palm Jebel Ali. Once it's ready, it's going to go up to 40 million.
Yeah. The thing is, there's comparable data. Well, not comparable data, but there's a comparable Palm. And this new Palm is Palm on steroids. That's gone to the gym and boy.
Yeah, it's double the size of Palm Jumeirah.
Exactly.
And the good thing about Palm Jebel Ali, look, in Palm Jumeirah, you have one entrance, one exit.
Yeah.
So in Palm Jebel Ali, you have 3.
Okay.
Because it's bigger. You have the main one, the main road. Then from the, what you call it, this end of the palm, on the edges, you have 2 bridges again, which is entry and exit. So now imagine in Palm Jumeirah, if you want to go to the, let's say, one and only hotel, you have to go all the way inside, then go to the end. Okay. But here in Palm Jebel Ali, you can enter from 3 sides.
Yeah. So they got an entrance on the main trunk and then on each front.
On each front as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. B, while we're on the topic of the Palm Jumeirah, now, you know, we know a couple of brothers that run a nice renovation company down there. They've done some really, really good projects. Tell me, why is the Palm still attracting people in the sense that investors are seeing opportunities there, or people that think, yeah, I can make a quick buck here if I can get the right property?
Look, it's coming from the history of real estate in Dubai. If you check the history of real estate, none of the locations on the beach close to the sea was dropped down in the prices.
Yeah.
There was always profitable.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Dubai Marina, you can have Palm Jumeirah. In Jumeirah, you cannot own a land because it's only for GCC nationals. But anywhere next to the beach, people were making profit. And Palm Jumeirah is one of a kind.
Yeah.
And if you compare Palm Jumeirah with Jebel Ali, Palm Jumeirah is already developed. So if you want to move in by yourself, everything is around you. You have everything. But Palm Jebel Ali will take time. So it's always attractive for people to invest there. And compare Palm Jebel Ali with Palm Jumeirah. Palm Jumeirah is closer to the downtown. It's closer to the Sheikh Zayed Road. It's closer to for those guys who are working in Deira and the main business areas of Dubai. It's much closer. And it's always attractive for the tourists as well.
Yeah. I think, look, you only have to look back at communities where people got in early. So let's say, look at some of the most recent ones, Dubai Hills. You know, I remember when Dubai Hills was announced, people were like, oh, but it's by a roadside. But why would you want to live by a roadside? And now everybody wants to live there. You know, let's look at Dubai South. Only 2 years ago, Dubai South, everyone's like, you know what, James, it's a bit far, man.
True.
Now look at it. You know, the people that got in early and bought those villas for, what was it, 1.5, 1.6 million,
The
2 million
townhouses.
for those big ones. You know,
Yeah.
the infrastructure was already there because of Expo. Roads were connected, nice connections with the metro. Those people that had a foresight to think, right, that's where I'm going to go, they're probably sitting back right now thinking, sod you lot. You lot didn't want to travel that extra 10 minutes in the morning, but we did. And we have an investment that's made us good money. You know, and I think this is the reason why we say to a lot of our investors, don't follow what everybody else is doing.
True.
There's a lot of people that will come here and just go to the main areas. Okay, right now, Ras Al Khaimah, yeah, it's the big hype. But everybody's pushing you towards Ras Al Khaimah. You know? Why are people not thinking a little bit differently and thinking, okay, let me make a very strategic decision here on where I'm going to put my money. Let me do some homework. One of the areas we focus on, we've heavily done our homework in that area. And you can see what's going on there. When you physically walk an area and you think, you get a good feeling here.
True.
A lot of clients say to me,
True.
James, when we saw this area on the map, yeah, it looked good. You talked about it. The figures were good. But when we stepped in and drove in, the feeling we got, the way we felt, the gut feeling, the deal was done the minute we drove in. Now, it's very, very kind of odd that people don't take that emotion into, you know, they don't put that into the equation. They don't think, let me take the client and walk him through. People are like, oh, sir, I got this brilliant payment plan for you, 1% a month, da, 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 da. You want to buy it? Like, you're asking people to spend a shitload of money with you, man. You need to read a person. You need to know, how are they feeling? What are their emotions? What senses are they giving off? How are they thinking?
I'm always saying motivation, ability, need.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've got a system that you take them through, right? And as soon as they step into an area, they can see, yeah, this feels good. So I always say, if you're a new investor here, yes, you need somebody who's done the homework. Now, the reason why when you call someone like myself, I'll only push you to 2 different areas, 2 projects, because I've fully studied those areas.
And you're an expert there.
Yeah. I've done the homework for you. I've looked at what's coming, what the government initiatives are, what the government's got planned for the area, what's going to be built around there. So you don't have to come here and spend 2 weeks being bombarded by every single agent just saying, sir, go for this, or sir, go for this, you know, because a lot of them are like that, you know. Let us, or we've done the homework for you. We're taking all that noise away, we're taking all that shit away, all that garbage away, and just saying, here you go. This is our finely mined diamond for you, the one that we see is best fit. You know, I was speaking to a client last week who came in through one of the campaigns we ran. And I called this gentleman, and he was very standoffish, like, why are you calling me? Yeah, who is this? Yeah, well, yeah, all right. Very, like, off with me. And I thought to myself, okay, you filled in a form. You want to know more about this. Something's bugging you. What's up? So I stayed on the phone, stayed very polite, very professional. The more I started speaking, the more I started talking, I could see his guard was coming down. Then he came clean to me and said, James, look, because I'm sorry that I was rude to you. He goes, but I have put my details somewhere online and the phone has not stopped ringing. And I'm in the UK, 4 hours behind everyone. I'm getting calls at 3 o'clock in the morning where people are ringing me and saying, do you want to buy? You want to buy? You want to buy? He goes, so I'm fucked off. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you're an agent in Dubai. You're calling someone in the UK. There's something called a world clock that you can look at on Google.
You have everyone on, they have it on their iPhone.
Yeah. Look at your world clock and think, okay, let me ring this person at a certain time. And this guy was already really pissed off. So when I knew he was really pissed off, some people would be like, you know what, shit, let me put the phone down and get the hell out of here. I don't want to screw at me. I'm thinking, he's already pissed off with everybody else. Here's my opportunity to make him not pissed off.
True.
You know, half an hour later, we've had a great conversation. He's told me he's got certain issues going on in his life. He needs to make a very good investment. And he's not prepared to make an investment for 6 months, but he feels, because of the information I've presented and the way I've said things to him, he feels like he wants to jump on a plane, come and see something and do a deal.
True.
You know? And it's it just goes to show that you need to be able to read your client. You need to be able to understand what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And the sale should be the last point of this.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm always saying, and I'm saying it again, we are not salesperson. We are consultants.
Mm.
We are dealing with the millions.
Yeah.
We are not dealing with $1,000, $2,000. No, it's $1 million. It's a lifetime investment for someone. So understand what he wants. Okay, if he's looking for investment, give them your best projects that you think is good for the investment because you've done the research. Do not go for the payment plan. Do not go for the higher commission.
Yeah.
You might do a one-time transaction with him. Get your commission, 5%, 7%, 10%, some developers. If developer giving you 10%, you have to know it's a shit project. Then go for it.
A free Rolex.
A free Rolex. But done your research because look, you never know. A client who is coming for $1 million dirham property might end up buying 10 million, 12 million from you. And I've experienced this.
You know, Dr. Anand used to say this. He used to say, buyers are liars.
Buyers are liars.
They are never going to tell you how much money they've got.
No one will tell.
Exactly.
Look,
and they will never discuss the right budget with you. It's for you to get that information out of them.
It's the nature of everyone. Even tomorrow, if you're going to go and buy, I don't know, a car, you're going to go to the dealer, say, okay, I want 100,000 dirham car. If he shows you a car which you love for 120, you're going to go for it.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's about the right project. Okay, always ask for how much they want to spend roughly. 1 million, 1.5 million. So you will not offer them 10 million dirham projects. No, maybe they want to start with $1 million.
Yeah.
But if they're happy with you, they're going to end up buying more.
So guys, if you're thinking of investing in Dubai, we offer 2 services. Number 1, you can book a consultation call with us. Now what this consultation call involves, it's a full overview of Dubai where we show you what's going on where the new up and coming spots are to invest. It's a totally free call, so I highly advise if Dubai is pricking your attention, get that call booked in so you can find out where to invest next.
Yeah, and I think this is where a lot of people fail to read the client, understand the client's need, and it's easy. Just ask them the damn question. You know,
Look, the thing with Dubai is a new market. I'm always saying Dubai is an infant. It's a baby.
It's a toddler.
Yeah, it's a toddler.
Little toddler.
It's a baby, and the real estate. Look, but at the same time, they're comparing with the big cities: New York, London, Shanghai, Beijing. They're comparing, so it means that the city was successful. But you cannot do what you're doing in US and Canada and UK for selling a property. You have to understand the needs of the client first.
Yeah,
because look, you have to ask, okay, is it investment or end use? If it's an investment, you have a couple of projects to offer. If it's an end use, then you have to sit with the client. Where does he work? Where his children will go to the school? Where his parents live in Dubai? Which area he wants to be? Then you will give him the offer based on his needs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. B, last year, oh, by the way, if anyone's wondering why have I got a laptop, normally I don't have any laptops, but my old brain now, as I'm getting older, I forget certain figures, so I have to write certain things down. So look, last year, the market totaled 407 billion in real estate transaction, as an amount. Already in 2024, we're halfway through. No, we're halfway through, Next 6 months have started. They've already said by the end of this year, we're going to be somewhere around 10% increase up on prices. So if 6 months have gone and they're still saying we're going to be somewhere at 10% by the end of the year, right now I suppose we're floating at 5-6%. What does that mean for people looking to invest?
Today is the best time to buy. Yesterday was the best time.
And the next best time is tomorrow. Yeah, that's what they say. That's that old saying. When is the best time to buy real estate? Right now, or yesterday, or tomorrow? You know, there's never...
Even tomorrow is late for Dubai.
Yeah, things can change within hours. Yeah. So look, what do you think that means for an investor looking right now? Because I get that question or that answer all the time where they say, James, you know what? I'm going to wait 3 months or I'm going to wait 6 months. So let's say we've got an investor right now ready to invest and he likes the project, but he says, James, I'm going to wait 3 months. How can that project change in 3 months from him saying in terms of price or stock availability?
Look, let's give an example. For example, in Town Square, same June 2023, we were selling 2 bedrooms for how much?
1 million?
Less than 1 million, 990,
yeah,
980, or
Just a
million
tad under.
20, something like this.
Yeah.
How much are the prices now?
1.3s, 1.37s, 4s, even 1.4s.
You got your answer.
Yeah. And in such a small period of time, right?
Less than a year. Almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year. So this is what's happening in the Dubai market. And look, when we're talking about the community, which was built by one developer, the beauty of this, that they're controlling the prices. They're controlling the quality. They're controlling the infrastructure of the community by everything. So you know you're never going to lose. Look, as an example, see all MR communities. No one lost money there. Why? Because you're controlling everything.
Yeah.
You cannot just have a land, build a community, and sell a plot to someone else to build something else. No, even if they're selling a plot, like in Dubai Hills, they built collective and they sold a plot for the project called Socio.
Okay.
It's two different developers, but everything is the same. The interiors, the design, everything is the same. So they keep the quality, even if they sell a plot. That's the beauty of the communities.
So basically what we're saying is if you're sitting there on the line thinking, you know what, I've got the money now, but I'm going to wait 3 to 6 months. Don't, because you're going to lose that ride of appreciation.
Look, people always saying the market will crash in summer times in Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm always saying, look, we are not ice cream business.
Yeah.
Why a property worth 2 million has to be done for like 1.5 million during summer and then again go to 2.2 million in the winter?
Maybe I think it's going to melt.
It's not going to happen. Look, every market, they have corrections. People thinking the crash will happen in Dubai because of 2008, 2014. Those years were like global crash.
There's global disaster for all of the world.
Disaster for all of the world, exactly.
And but Bree, you hit the nail on the head. It was a global disaster, but look how other parts of the world are still screwed by that global disaster. Whereas Dubai has quite clearly demonstrated that, yes, all right, our market took a dive. Everybody knows about it. Everybody's talking about it. You're saying, you lot fucked up in 2008. But look at us now. Look where we are now. So fuck you lot. We got out of it quicker than you did. And we're on the upward, whereas you can't even sort your shit out.
True. And look, if you buy in a right community, right price, right location, there will be no crash for you. It will be a crash if you buy from a developer who is selling you a studio for 800 and the market price is 400.
Yeah.
For you will be a crash.
Yeah. And this is where people need to be careful, where developers have overinflated prices because they're offering you 1% payment plan. So something that should be 400,000 dirhams is 800,000 dirhams with a 1% payment plan. You think, oh, 1%, I can afford that. But when they hand that apartment over to you, you'll be like, oh my God, there's stuff for sale for 500. And then suddenly you're fucking minus 300 all because you wanted that stupid 1%.
True. And he's thinking, okay, let's put it on rent. So I'll pay for the installment.
Yeah.
But you cannot see that whoever is buying in that project is because of that. So everyone are putting in on rent. So you have to give it on a lower price.
Yeah.
But if you're buying in a community, in the right developer, you have a mix, end user and investor.
Yeah.
So if 200 units are handed over, you have 150 for the end user who wants to move in, and you have 50 for rent.
Yeah, sure.
These are the small things that we study when we offer a project.
Look, there's a lot of investor confidence at the moment, you know. I guess mortgages are available for buyers overseas now. The mortgage process is very, very kind of, I say easy compared to the rest of the world.
Easier.
And it's attracting more people. So, you know, there's more confidence in the market. What do you think that is driving the prices as well? People confident enough to buy?
Yeah, still. But look, the mortgage playing important part. But if you check the data, the cash buyers are always more than mortgage buyers.
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of the buy market.
Still, yes.
So
how long do you think that'll be, though?
Look, the thing happening in Dubai is, I'm always saying this, that the market is changing. Before it was only investors, now we have end users coming.
Yeah.
So it will keep continue like this. It will keep continue like this. Because when the end user are hitting the market, it will give more stability to the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people will still buy for their retirement, for their second home here.
Sure. You know, we've always had this kind of, we talked about the luxury brands, you know, the luxury market, but there's also this mid-market market going on at the moment. You know, this mid-market boom, which is people looking between 2 and 5 million, which is, you know, it's more of a kind of first-time buyer, family, people that are relocating, people that are going to settle here. So people moving into this area, right?
Yeah.
So it's very kind of, the market's changing. And I think that area between 2 and 5 has become hugely competitive.
True.
You know,
True.
not only for people looking to move in, but we're finding investors are saying, James, find me something in this area. Find me something that I can get into that's a renovation project that I can make money on. But I feel it's almost impossible now. In 2 to 5 million, what are you really finding someone? Maybe 5 million, you might get them into something. 4 to 5, but definitely 2 to 3, that area of renovation in townhouses is gone.
Yeah. Look, for 3 million, you can get a 2-bedroom townhouse in the spring. A 2-bedroom, which is the smallest townhouse we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost impossible to get in that price now.
So where do you think investors are having to start off? Like where do you think an investor, say somebody watching this show right now is thinking, you know what, I'm in construction, I'm in real estate in the UK, I get it time and time again from people saying, you know, if I came out there, could I get into this space? And my answer is yes and no. Yes being you can get into this space, but it's going to cost you a certain amount. Where do you think somebody listening wanting to get into this renovation space should be looking at as a budget?
In terms of budget, look, a good, safe and secure budget, which will give them money, which will generate money for them. I'm saying around, if I'm going to say in there, I'm around 14 million for buying a property and another 4 million for renovation.
So you're at
So
about
it's like
3 or 4 million, about 4 million UK pounds.
Almost 4 million UK pounds. Yes.
Okay. And part of that could be mortgaged, right?
Part of that can be mortgaged. For buying the property, yes, 50% can be mortgaged.
Okay,
Even
so-
if they are not living in Dubai, they're not the residents of Dubai, they can get 50%.
So let's say a guy comes in, they've got the money to do that. They come up with 2 million cash. They do the project. What can they expect to realistically walk away with?
So if realistically, if they spend around 18 million on a whole project with buying cost and renovation costs, everything, we're looking here around 24 million dirham as a resale price. So
Wow.
they're making around 5 to 6 million dirham.
That is phenomenal returns, man, on your 2 million.
And look, it's the right time to enter because now we are in the first phase of renovation in Dubai market.
Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't understand first phase of renovation, what B's referring to is a lot of communities have been built on big plots of land, stuff that's 10 years, 12 years, 15 years old, where they would have built a 6,000 square foot villa on a 12,000 square foot plot, which is substantial, which is like, you know, in most countries, that would be a mansion. So these are A1 properties that have fantastic views. They're in communities that are such sought after. And these deals are to be had there. You know, we have 2 or 3 deals like this on our books at the moment where investors are kind of just toying with the idea, looking at the proposals. But as B says, if you could get to that kind of level of borrowing or you got those kind of funds, then I think once you enter this space with that kind of money, you will never look to do a renovation anywhere else again.
No.
And just remember, on the flip side of this renovation, you don't have to deal with the whole taxation side, which kills people in other parts of the country as well.
Whatever you make is yours.
Yeah. So look, we've got a couple of minutes left to finish this podcast off. I want to look at office and retail space. Now, one of the facts that I pulled up is that there's been a huge increase in office and retail spaces. 10 to 15% increase, they're saying, this year, with most buildings when they're open having a 90% occupancy. And I saw this firsthand yesterday when I took my kids for a haircut in Design District. They've been there before, but my kids were like, where are we? This is the future. Because obviously, if you haven't been around to the office areas in the Design District, it's very quirky, high-end businesses, design agencies, clothing,
Yeah.
fashion designers. And I'm looking at, there's 8 different buildings, right? 8 or 9 different blocks in Design District. They've got like
I think there
D1,
are
2,
8.
3
Yeah.
like this. Bro, I'm looking at these blocks and every single one of these offices is occupied by a business. And I'm like, whoa, what is going on here in this space? Automatically, my real estate head's kicking in thinking, are we missing something here?
Yes. Look, I'm not an expert in commercial, but we've seen a huge growth in commercial and retail spaces. Look, there's a community next to this building, Bay Square.
Yeah.
If you remember 2 years ago when we were walking down that area, most of the shops were empty.
Yes, you're right.
And go there now.
Yeah,
Most
it's
of
buzzing.
them are.
It's buzzing.
It's either operational now, or they're doing renovation, or they're doing fit out to start a business there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Offices are the same. I remember they were selling offices here with a 5 years post handover payment plan.
Wow.
Now you cannot find anything for rent.
Mm.
Businesses are coming to Dubai. Look, Dubai became a capital of the world for the businesses. You see all these big brands. If they have one branch in UK, in US, like their main office is there, they have a branch here in Dubai as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And you're right about that, because a friend of mine, well, big him up actually, Nick Bassi, he runs a beautiful clothing company back in the UK, designer clothing for children. Yeah. And child's play. And he has a place in Design District. So obviously
See?
he's seen the foresight of being in a country like this as well. And some of his clientele, A-list clientele, celebrities. So I think you're right. People that have got established bases of strong businesses in other countries are now making sure they have an established base here as well.
They have a main branch, they have a main office in their own country, but before opening another branch in anywhere else in the world, they're looking to come to Dubai first.
Mm. But look, I think we need to touch on the commercial space a little bit more.
Yeah.
We'll put that into another episode. But guys, as always, look, if you're a new investor or you're looking to get into an investment and you want to find out more, you can jump onto my Instagram, you can jump onto B's Instagram, or you can jump onto our company Instagram. Send us a DM, and what we do is we do a consultation call. And on this consultation call, we will go through the whole scope of Dubai with you, tell you what's what, what's not, where you should be, what future developments are, and how a particular first-time investment would look for someone like you. This is a completely free service. So do DM one of us. Feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to do that call with you.
We're going to speak in 3 languages for you, if you feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. We speak English, Punjabi, Farsi,
Yeah.
and we're learning Arabic. So that so we couldn't
Soon.
really have a conversation on that. But guys,
Yeah.
B, thank you once again. Till next
Thank
week.
you.
And thanks for tuning into J2 Hub podcast. Guys, look, we don't run any adverts on here. So all we ask for is a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And do jump onto our Facebook page, because we're trying to build that J2 Hub community a little bit more with resourceful content like this. But thank you for tuning in.